sci-fi, graphic novel, and comic book fans, this is where it all went down. The promised land where pop culture is king. What's up, I am Bilingüe, Philip Morales here, and as you may already know, the big 2012 Comic-Con convention is set to begin in San Diego, California this week. But the Dallas-Fort Worth area already got a taste of fandom glory when Comic-Con invaded the Irving Convention Center in May. I Am Bilingüe was there to not only bring you a glimpse of all the fun, but we also wanted to see what work was being put out there for us Latinos to relate to. Among all the Batmans, Supermans, and Star Wars fanatics, we did find some crime-fighting superheroes who aren't afraid to kick ass in 2 languages.
Well, El Gato Negro tells a story about a young Latino male, Francisco Guerrero, in his 20s. He's a social worker by day and crime fighter by night, fighting crime in South Texas. He got his moniker, the name, from his grandfather, who used to be a Mexican master luchador.
In 1993, when Richard Dominguez first independently published El Gato Negro, having a masked hero that fought crime exclusively in Texas was a first for the comic industry. Choosing to set his books in South Texas, Dominguez knew that the El Gato Negro story had to be told in the dual language that dominated the region.
Those who are not from that region will have something to understand by what's the asterisk and the true translation on the bottom of the panel. And this was something that was never done in comics. And I kind of introduced that and to give El Gato Negro a sense of belonging there in the industry.
While Dominguez is an established trailblazer in the world of Latino-based comic books, we found the next generation of independent artists and writers at Dallas Comic-Con who are using the web to get their bilingual stories out to the masses.
My name is Hector Rodriguez. I'm actually here in Dallas Comic-Con promoting my webcomic, soon-to-be comic book, El Beso Hero, based on a Mexican superhero that deals with crime, corruption, violence that goes on the border.
While Rodriguez strived to be true to his subject material, he quickly found that sticking to one language exclusively in his comic was not what his bilingual audience wanted.
It's actually a bilingual book, you know, because he speaks in Spanish, and I have, dialogue in English, even though there are Mexican. I was being true in the beginning. It was mostly in Spanish, and then I started to notice on my statistics that people were dropping off. My traffic was lowering just because it was in Spanish, and I was actually doing a little bit more research, and I noticed that most of my audience was actually English speakers from the United States. And so, I compromised with myself. Okay, well, it's going to be in English for a couple of exceptions. If I want to express a point, then I'll do it in Spanish. But the hero will only be Spanish speaking with, translations underneath.
English or Spanish, comic books like El Beso Hero and El Gato Negro are awesome reminders that there are still independent creators out there willing to tell the stories that the mainstream comic industry doesn't. At the end of the day, though, Comic-Con was a blast because once you're there, you quickly realize that it's all about one thing, and that's being a place where a fan can proudly be a fan, regardless of what you're a fan of.
Yeah, this is our first time out here, but we're huge comic fans.
I'm 42 years old now, and I still get excited by all this.
We were here for Patrick Stewart and Stanley.
Nice. Did you get to see him?
I really like anime and comics.
The costume contest was awesome.
Yeah, we saw Tony Stark. He's the real Iron Man he is.
I've been a comic fan since I was 10 years old, and then my family, my boys just followed me.
I mean, this really, I don't know, it keeps me young.
It was a good time. We had a good time. Definitely coming back next year.
Dallas Comic-Con!
Yeah! Woo!